Thanks
What
to
is
Sue.
what? Thanks to yourself. What is
Wow.
the shop on Etsy called?
Say that again.
What is the name of your shop on Etsy?
I don't have one.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, that one.
I thought you just said you did.
No,
So,
no. I had started, or at least registered to, and I never followed through.
Oh, well, so you have time today, right?
he has
No, actually,
No
I
pressure.
don't.
No pressure.
lots of
Not
No
today.
pressure. No pressure. No pressure. No
And
pressure.
have you mixed your colors yet, Madame?
Oh, I had a little setback. I did get my paints, but I had a little health setback, and I'm actually going to the dentist later,
Okay.
and whatever. But I'll be
Oh.
painting later.
Okay.
Good.
So
Great.
again, happy Monday,
Happy
everybody.
Monday to you.
Happy
I
Monday.
believe
Happy
it's
Monday.
23rd of
Happy
November.
Monday.
So what are you grateful for today? It's the beginning of the week. What are you grateful for today? How about you, Miss Linda? Why don't you begin? What are you grateful for today? And let's
I
keep
have,
everybody off mute. You know, no mute. I just kind of so we can just kind of enjoy.
yes, this morning I'm happy. I'm grateful for being here with everyone. I had a lovely weekend. I had my class on Saturday, my year 2 Zoom class. So we're all getting together. It's nice to see my classmates. That's what I'm grateful for. School's going to start soon in 2 weeks. For my entrance.
Ah, that's great. That's
Yeah.
great. And Miss Adria, what are you grateful for in purple?
I think I'm grateful that everybody is still healthy in my little family, and I'm very grateful for that.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. In our little bubbles, just grateful that we're healthy and safe. Exactly.
Mhm.
And Miss Ann Beth, what are you grateful for?
Oh, I am grateful for many things.
Oh, good.
I'm grateful this morning. Well, the sun is out now, but it was dark, dark, dark this morning. And I just put all the lights on. And it was daytime. It's like I've never done that before. And it woke me up. It's like it wasn't so dreary. So I'm grateful that I had this brainstorm that I think somebody mentioned one day, maybe last week, that, put all the lights on felt better. And yeah.
Does.
I always love putting on all the lights all the time.
All the lights.
Oh, and grateful for an apple pie I'm going to bake.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
It's actually ready to bake. So, I just have to bake it.
good.
But
Good.
it should be good.
It'll be great. And
Hallo Burkhard.
Miss Sue, what are you grateful for?
I am grateful.
Eigentlich nicht. Kann ich dich in einer halben...
I'll let him. Joachim.
Oh, somebody
muted.
muted him. He's muted.
He got muted.
Okay, so I'm grateful that I'm 15 postcards into 50 that I'm sending to various people in Georgia about the Senate race. So I'm glad that I'm at least that far down. I want to try to get up to 25 today if I can. And I plan to, and I'm grateful that I know I'll be painting later when I get back from the dentist.
Oh,
Yay!
You and Beth.
Yay.
Thank you all for holding me accountable to myself.
Yes.
Yes.
And Miss Rita Hubert, what are you grateful for?
Good morning.
Hi, Rita.
So good to see all of you. It just cheers the heart. And I'm grateful that I have my little cottage here on Long Island. It's tiny, but at least I'm safe, and it keeps keeps all the viruses out and gives me an opportunity to spend some time just on Zoom with friends and family, and just contemplating and meditating.
Absolutely. Being our own safe little cave. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Miss Lee, what are you grateful for?
Good morning.
Good morning, Lynn.
Morning.
Oh my gosh, I'm grateful, and Beth, for your the jewelry work you are doing, and you look fantastic this morning. You look so vibrant. There's something,
Thank you.
that's, I feel like, it's stirring and coming up. So I love that. I'm grateful for a couple things. The clawfoot tub in my mom's house. I took a bath last night, and I'm going to try and do baths. It's, I think I mentioned it before. It's one of those really big tubs. So I was really able just to, it just was so relaxing. And then my one woman dance party I had last night on my deck here. Both the bath and the dancing really, really helped me greatly. I slept well. So I'm grateful for all of that, but I'm also really grateful for my husband, who is incredibly supportive. And I have a lot of sadness for other things going on. And the fact that, he can't come here for Thanksgiving. I'm not going to go back up to New York. There's just so many things happening. And, like a lot of people who are alone, and, he's going to be by himself. But he's really supportive. And I wish, Jochen, you also, I don't know if you're going with family or anyone else, Rita, who's, home alone, to try and connect through, I guess, this platform on,
Right.
Well, Jochen, I know Thanksgiving isn't a German holiday, so that's a little different, but you've had a lot of holidays, all these holidays that have happened, that we're all trying to figure it out. So, so I'm just, trying to send love for him and just remain calm and take more baths.
Remain calm.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Dancing.
I vote for that.
Miss Leticia, what are you grateful for? In red.
Red.
Yes.
That's gorgeous.
Hello. I'm grateful to be here with you this morning. I'm grateful. It's cold. It's I think it's 34 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's cold. But it's gray, and I love these gray days once in a while, because although I have stopped pouting because I have evolved into being kind to myself, I still like these days where you just, feel like going into a cocoon and being quiet. So I'm grateful for that, because when it's gray like this, I don't think, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this. I just, and I do what I feel like doing. So I'm grateful for that.
Ah, thank you. And Mr. Jochen, what are you grateful for?
Hi, Jochen.
Hey.
I'm grateful to be with you here, but I have to say I have to leave before meditation because I have a rehearsal tonight.
Okay.
This is really extraordinary for me because I didn't think we would do any music this year, but it seems like that we do two Christmas music concerts in a big church, and there will be just 100 people allowed to go in, but we do it anyway. So we do 3 times on one day, and I'm rehearsing today.
Oh,
Beautiful.
That's great.
That's very good. I'm looking forward to.
That's
And
great.
I also go. I need more movement because I have a little back pain, and I go there with bike, and I think it will be better after I return.
yes, absolutely. Have a
Awesome.
wonderful rehearsal, Jochen.
We need music in this world.
Absolutely.
Yes, we
We
do.
Thank
do.
you.
And Miss Rita Maida, good morning. What are you grateful
Hi,
for
Rita.
today?
Hi, everyone. It's so good to see all of your faces and hear where everyone is. I am grateful. Just signed a contract with a publishing company on Saturday. So I'm writing my very first textbook, which I'm super
congratulations.
scared about.
Great.
So I'm announcing it here, so I'm accountable. It's due in June, and I'm terrified.
Publisher.
Fine.
What is the publisher, Rita?
one of the courses I teach is holistic health. So it's a textbook for holistic health.
Very
Yes.
nice.
Fabulous.
The publishing
Awesome.
company. I used to work for an educational publisher.
Kendall Hunt.
Kendall, so they're college level.
Yes.
Mhm.
And Miss
Nice.
Adria.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Huh? Miss Adria, what are you grateful for?
You did me. I'm grateful that everybody's healthy, and I'm grateful for my husband.
Okay, I did you. Miss Heather.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Heather.
Morning.
Nice, lovely orange.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful I'm feeling better. I'm grateful that finally have energy to do stuff again after 3.5 years. I'm finally getting my energy back, which is I'm very grateful. And I'm
Mhm.
grateful for my personal chef.
And I'm grateful as the personal chef having all these fun appliances. So yesterday I made blueberry muffins. I made potatoes, fried potatoes in the air fryer.
Nice.
And what else did I make?
Oatmeal.
And oatmeal. I made oatmeal in the pot
Oh,
this morning.
Steel cut.
okay.
Yes. But
Nice.
actually, I'm more grateful that I reconnected back to my sister-in-law, my brother's wife. So apparently, there's something in the background which I really still haven't figured out. But she basically wrote off our entire family for a year. And so I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. So I kind of got the message indirectly, actually, through Heather. And so I shared my memoir of my mom and some creative writing that I did recently. And she responded with this long email. So I said, oh my gosh. So I responded back last night with the long email back to her. So I feel as though we're kind of opening up the communications. And then this morning on Facebook, of course, Facebook has this algorithm. So they always go back to, years, previous. So at this time, we were literally at their home for Thanksgiving with my sister and her husband and a neighbor who has passed on. So I just kind of shared some of those pictures and said, happy Thanksgiving, from the two of us, warm memories from Thanksgiving 2016. So I don't know, I'm just grateful, it's kind of opening up the energies, to reconnect, back to family. And I think that really is, what Thanksgiving is all about, just kind of reconnecting back to family. And though it would be wonderful to physically be with everybody with all the great foods, but obviously this year is much different. But it's interesting, there was an article, the pandemic of 1918, this exact situation was happening over Thanksgiving and Christmas. So, and all of the people were reacting the same way. So it's kind of interesting. People haven't changed over 100 years. So, of course, there's a major group of people who believe in mass, and of course, there's a major group of people who don't believe in mass. And that happened 100 years ago. Actually, there was a contingency in California that said no mask, and they made a major, issue about it. Anyway, but I suppose my point is, just be grateful. See you later, Johan. Have a great.
Bye, Johan. Have a
Yeah,
nice
bye,
Have a nice
Johan.
Ciao, Jochen.
Enjoy your thing.
So, I think maybe this might be a good time just for reflection. What have we learned in 100 years or in the centuries before from these pandemics or epidemics? And then just kind of throw this other notion out, which is very interesting. I got an email through a friend from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And his email stated that do not take the vaccine. And the reason his thinking is that the vaccine that they are promoting at this point is made of genetic material which will irreversibly affect our bodies. So if you take this vaccine, no matter what, after that one shot, you have been inoculated with something that will never ever be able. So talk about holistic health. So I'm thinking about what Rita is doing about, no matter how many holistic health prayers or whatever, you have now been inoculated. Now that is his perspective. So it's actually interesting. Tammy, you remember Tammy, her husband or her partner used to work for Robert F. Kennedy. And so, of course, he's a great, advocate for him. But when he heard that message, he felt that Robert Kennedy was a crackpot. He just said, I can't believe that he even said that. So it just kind of, talk about, the chi energy associated, with this. And of course, my mind is thinking, how long did it take to make vaccines to be really feel safe, for measles or diphtheria or polio? I mean, here they are, I have to say, and I'm also going to go back to my experience last week at Weill Cornell. It's definitely money over health. I mean, here I was off of chemo just for a month, but apparently my insurance, because I'm off of chemo, they have to reinstitute the protocol where I needed to meet my oncologist in person. So even though I had to meet with her, I had no inoculation, no infusion, because she needs to physically meet me so then she can make the authorization. And then last Thursday, when I arrived at Weill Cornell, they said the authorization didn't go through. And I said, what do you mean? I said, this is over 2 weeks that I just saw you. So of course, there's all these protocols. And I even mentioned it to the nurse who was actually going to do the infusion for me. I said, is this truly money over health? And she just kind of said, I can't say anything.
Right.
So, anyway, so I'm just throwing that up. Please, Sue.
I think that Leticia had her hand up first.
Leticia, you first.
Oh, it was a fleeting thought, but I was going to say I have heard this same thing about reversing your DNA from two people also. So it's scary.
The vaccine.
Sorry? The vaccine. Yes, the vaccine.
Yeah.
Scary, really scary things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry. Thank you, Sue.
I was going to say that not everyone will be eligible for this vaccine based on how it's made. For example, I was unable to take a shingles vaccine, the original shingles vaccine, because it's made from a live virus. And having as one issue lymphoma, that could be potentially a deadly proposition. So part of what I think about the new vaccine is in that way, like I'll be speaking to people about it and how it's being generated and so on. But I also think that the thing with Robert, you're talking about Robert Kennedy Jr.
That is correct.
Yeah, so he's an anti-vaxxer.
Right.
Period. And so, of course there are sides to everything.
Yep.
But I would say that the benefits of vaccinating outweigh the disadvantages personally.
Okay.
And I have no feelings about anyone who disagrees with me about it. It's all good. You have to follow what feels right for you.
Absolutely. Lee.
I just going back to your 1918 information, which, it truly is fascinating because as we see in history in many different situations that history repeats, that's like something we say, right? And how fascinating is that humans can't learn from major catastrophes, but maybe because, it's something within us that we forget, right? Our bodies sort of shut down after we've gotten through something because you just don't want to have to sort of relive the trauma. But what's really interesting is that I don't know that much about my ancestry, which is, something that I'm not sure how much I can learn now, but my mom, has done some research and I think it's really interesting, you know, fortunately, no one in my family has died through the pandemic now, but my mother's father's, so my mother's grandmother actually died in the 1918 flu. And she actually was pregnant at the time. But so my mom's father was, I don't know, maybe 5 or 7 years old. There was a few other children, you know, that had already been born. So I mean, it's so interesting to think of that connection. You know, I never really knew that. I remember her telling me a couple of years back when she did some genealogy, but I never thought about, you know, the 1918 pandemic flu. You just think, oh, wait, you know, people died of the flu then. And, but that's what's happening now. And I really, you know, that, you know, it's really deep connection. And I wonder if, you know, through our genes, some of the people that are like being anti-maskers now, if back then that was their family, right? It's just a really fascinating sociological study, I guess. But there's resistance, and it was then, you know, to hear these stories now it's fascinating.
It is. It really is fascinating. Miss Rita.
Hi. Yep. As a researcher, as a healthcare researcher, I've looked into the 1918 pandemic, and I think they also had a special on PBS on it, or the National Geographic, and they did say that it was a year and a half. It started in January, December, 1 year, and the following year in the summer it was gone. So so I'm hopeful that that's the way it is here. And my allergist, who I see every month, said that the quickest vaccine he remembers ever being successfully completed was 4 years. So he's on the fence, and I see him every month. So so we'll see what he says as this continues.
Right. Leticia.
It makes me think of the old adage that says haste makes waste. So just that for me, I sort of back off, because it's so quick and everybody's doing the same thing, and it's a race. I think it doesn't, for me, it doesn't make sense. There's something that is lacking rigorousness, and something that is lacking discipline, I feel. And of course we know nothing, and so it's very difficult. I think we might be misled to a great extent also, and then all the nature plant-based things and the mother tinctures that they say, like people can't find them, so people that are doing natural stuff, they can't get their hands on the plants or the, you know, all the what they need, because they're suddenly unavailable. So that also for me is a grand manipulation. So I'm rather weary of all that, because I don't know much, and the little that I know, I'm like, oh my God.
Go ahead, Sue.
I mean, I feel like there's so much progress technologically in terms of being able to understand disease more quickly and so on. I do feel that there needs to be, you know, 90% efficacy, I don't think is necessarily so great. Personally, it should be closer to 99% or something like that. But the more things change, the more they remain the same. And so here we are 100 years later, and we're feeling the same kinds of feelings that I'm sure people felt back then during the flu pandemic. But I just, you know, one of the things that Letitia said, I think over the last 4 years, there's just been so much lying that it's hard to know where the truth lies. And because of that, you know, you could understand how you would have these feelings of a lack of trust, because you never, you know, it's the boy who cried wolf, and when the wolf was actually there, no one believed him.
Right. Actually, Adria.
Just to also throw another little cog in the wheel, we need to recognize that we all have the privilege of making a decision about this.
Mm.
And there will be millions of Americans who do not have that privilege.
Mm.
You must take the vaccine or you will not be allowed to work in the healthcare system.
Mm.
You must take the vaccine or you will not be able to go to school.
Or you must take the vaccine or you can't go on an airplane. Imagine that. So, right. So, there's a lot of layers which are going to be discussed over and over and over again. When I was talking to my sister yesterday, she's a nurse, and she said, well, Ron, you know, the times have changed in the sense that there are thousands and thousands, or millions of people that they have a pool to work with. In the 1918 pandemic or that epidemic, they had lots of people, but they didn't have the technology to collect all the data at the same time. So therefore, she feels, I mean, she had no judgment whatsoever about vaccine or no vaccine, but she was just making a statement about just gathering data in 2020. It's much different than gathering data in 1918. So therefore, yes, a vaccine may be possible to be sooner, but because there is a larger pool of people to work on. So that was only her comment about that situation. So, we do have the look at the technology now. Here we are on Zoom. They didn't have Zoom or cell phones or even, I don't know how many people had telephones, or TVs in 1918. So, that's a whole different ball game in terms of communication. So, right. So these just all layers for consideration.
Did we have Zoom before the pandemic started? Was
Yeah.
there Zoom? Oh, well, what do I know?
I think a couple years prior. I don't even know why I had it already in my, some person a couple years back had some sort of webinar. But it really was not known. I mean,
Right.
it's like PayPal. I have had PayPal since 2003, but it
Mhm.
really just became something in the last like 5, 6, 8 years, I think.
Yeah, online meetings have been around for a long time, probably more than 10 years, because I used them at my work 7 to 3 years ago because we're sponsored by a company in India. So we did daily meetings with the Indian company.
Uh-huh. Well, anyway, I think at this point, the Zoom is telling us we have just about 10 minutes. So let's continue our time with a nice meditation, and we can always obviously continue our conversations as we go on for the rest of the week, for the rest of our lives. Anyway, so I'm going to mute everybody, and and if you want to unmute yourself at the end, you'll have to do it yourself. I don't have that ability if you want to do the chanting, but anyway. So let's just relax and breathe. And just feeling grateful. I'm just grateful for all of you to be here on Monday morning. And feel your feet flat on the floor, connecting to Mother Earth. And breathe and relax. Clear our minds. And let's begin our time together with the ringing of the bells. And just breathe and relax. And just sit in a very comfortable position. My hands are outstretched like the arms of the eagle. Just welcoming all of the uplifting chi energy from the universe, from God, gathering the chi from our hearts. Breathe and relax. And let's visualize a beautiful golden cord of energy coming from the universe, connecting to the crown chakra, coming along the central channel of our bodies, connecting into our hearts, along the base of our chair, going through our legs like the roots of bamboo, holding hands with Mother Earth, heaven, humanity, and earth. Breathe and relax. And you can visualize ourselves to be outside in nature, maybe sitting on the shores of the beach or the edge of the canyon, overlooking the mountains in the distance. Feel the warmth of the sun, the gentle breezes. Breathe and relax. I can see the meandering river below, the 8 Chinese immortals, nodding, acknowledging our presence. And what wisdom do they have to share from over hundreds of years ago? Breathe and relax. I can see beautiful swans dancing on the waters, fields of sunflowers, butterflies in the distance, tall sequoia trees, strong, resilient. And maybe you can find one of these trees and just kind of lean back and relax. Relax your head and your neck. Relax your shoulders and just allow the branches to embrace you. Relax your elbows, your wrists, and your hands. Bring your attention to our hearts, filled with purple healing chi energy. Relax. Relax our hearts. It may be sitting on a beautiful lotus flower, just floating, floating peacefully on calm waters, the waters of life. Bring our attention to the lower dantian, the golden fields. Relax. Relax our hips, our thighs. Sink comfortably into our chairs. Relax our legs, our knees. Even relax our ankles and our feet. And just lean back against this beautiful giant sequoia tree. Strong, vibrant, uprising wood chi energy filled with life. Breathe and relax. And let's just take this time and let's just listen to the silence. Breathe and relax. And gently, gently, gently take our hands, place it over our hearts or over your heart in the lower dantian. And let's close our time together with the ringing of the bell. Om.
Mani
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Mani
Om
Padme
Mani
Hum.
Padme Hum.
Om Mani
Om Mani
Padme
Padme
Hum.
Hum.
Om Mani
Om
Padme Hum.
Mani Hum. Om Mani
Padme
Padme
Hum.
Hum. Om
Om
Mani
Padme
Padme
Hum.
Hum.
Om.
Om Mani
Om
Padme
Mani
Hum.
Padme Hum. Om Mani
Om Mani
Padme
Padme
Hum.
Hum.
Om
Om
Mani
Mani Padme
Padme Hum.
Om Mani Padme Om. The 6 true words welcoming good health, prosperity, smiles, and joy. So gently, gently rub our palms together. And gently, gently tap. A little tap dance with Mother Earth. A little tap on your face. A little tap on your arms and your chest and your heart. And happy Monday, everybody.
Monday to everyone.
Monday.
Sending
Take
lots
care.
of love.
Happy Monday, everyone. Have a blessed day.
Great day.
Have a
Happy
great
Monday.
day.
Heather.
Love you. It's so great.
Love all of you. Good to see you all.
Love you all.
We'll see
Have
you
a great
tomorrow.
day.